Right, hello everyone. So you joined me from the back of my car. So as you saw, one of the doors don't open, automatically that is. It closes however, and this is a common issue at times when, let's say, the actual, electronic switch cannot throw the lock out far enough for it to unlock, but it can actually close it in to lock the door, which is what's happening to, well, this door. This happened to me before, and what I did was I drilled a hole on the side of the casing and I put some WD-40 in it and then closed it a lot of times, to swish it around, and it worked after that. And it's something that I'm probably gonna have to do every once in a while, to keep it, to be able to, for it to unlock and lock. You can buy new locks and they will last for about 10 to 12 years, depending on if you live in a city or out in the country. I live out in the country, and because I don't use my car every day, after a while they seize up. That's not the case when you live in a city where you constantly unlock it, lock it, and whatever. It doesn't seize up that way, and that's why it's able to, last for a tiny bit longer. So today, I'm going to show you what I did the previous time, and I'm probably going to do it for all the doors again, just because at this point, so yeah, let's get started. So, sorry for the wind, but yeah, it's quite windy outside, and it's probably going to rain soon, so I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can. So basically, right, so some time after the rain, yeah, it just started pouring down. So when you open the door, what you want to do is to take out this bit from the lock. I mean, literally, it's just a cover. So basically, when you've done that, when you've gotten this thing out, the cover, you will see, I don't know if you can see it because it's against the sun, but there is a nut in there, and it has like this little arm over it when it's fully tightened, and basically that kind of unlocks this thing for this to come out. And then after that, you'll be able to open the handle like this and then pull this out. Now when you've done that, what you want to do is basically drill kind of a hole on the side of the casing for something like WD-40 for the nozzle to be able to fit in. And then what you do is basically through that hole, you open the door because the liquid will actually come out through here to the actual lock, and you basically put a bit in. I've already done this, but you basically put a bit in like so, and it will start to drip out there. And then what you do is you slam the door a good few times, and then make sure to keep the window open because you will need it. What you will do is then you will start to basically lock the car, and then pull the handle, and then unlock the car, and then open it from the inside, and then slam it, lock it, then unlock it. And do this a good, I'm going to say 10 to 12 times. It will probably not work. You'll probably not be able to open it from the outside for a good few tries. And basically repeat this process a good few times. After like the 10 to 15 tries it doesn't work, put a bit more in. And the mechanism inside was a bit sticky, and now it's like nice and smooth. And then when I lock it and then unlock it, it opens. Make sure when you do lock it, don't just pull it out here, pull it a couple of times between each unlock and lock. Pull it a couple of times to exercise the lock. Then when you open it, still it's not enough. So pull it a couple of times. There we go. It might stick later on, but for the majority, it will work. Perfect. So I think I'm gonna do this with all the other locks just because I'm already out here. So let me just quickly do this. It's basically the same thing on the other side, and for the passenger door. For this door it's a tiny bit different. This part is actually like an actual lock which goes deep inside. So it's a tiny bit different, but it's basically the same thing. Right, let's do the second rear door. So same thing. You kind of take this off. There we go. Make sure to put this away because this is quite quite important. Keeps the dust out. So now you unscrew that little screw in there, and then it should come out with relative ease. So yeah, it shouldn't be stuck in there. It should come out with relative ease. And then it's the same thing. Basically drill a hole in there. You can actually see that very well. Yeah, you see it? It's basically drill a hole there, put this good stuff until it kind of starts dripping out. And I've always put a tiny bit on the mechanism on the outside to make it a bit that much smoother for it to kind of go back up and down. Slam it a couple of times. If this happens, where it doesn't actually go back, there's a slight metal bit. So there are these hooks which are spring loaded. Can't really see it. Basically, it's what pulls the handles back. And there's a tiny little like metal bit above it that at times kind of unfolds and it blocks the way. And what you need to do is bend it back. And once you did, it should be fine. Do this so basically slam it a couple of times, and then basically, well, this one worked fine. So lock it, pull, even on the inside as well. Pull a couple of times, unlock, and it should work fine. Let's do so this was the other rear door. So let's do the passenger door in the front. So on the front door, same way, you had one of these covers on the two rear. It's same way, just pop it off. Also might require some encouragement. Keep that there safe, and basically start unscrewing. And then with some minor encouragement, the actual thing should come off like so. This one is also a cover, nothing special. It's basically a dummy for a possible lock. But yeah, this is a right hand drive one, so it just doesn't get a lock here, only there where you can put a key in. Again, same place, kind of drill a hole and then put the good stuff in like so, and stuff will come out on the bottom here. Yep, should be good enough. And also a tiny bit on the mechanism below, just to make it a bit more smooth. Yeah, I can already feel it being a lot more smooth. So let me just put this down, slam it a couple of times. Yep, the same thing I think happened here with that metal piece. Yeah. Give me a sec, let me just fold it back. Right, it's folded back. So let's lock the car. Let's start opening this a couple of times just to move the lock. And then open it. That should be working just as fine. Close. Unlock. Good. Lock. Unlock. Lock. Let's exercise a bit more just to get that much more in. That should be lock. So unlock. Works perfectly fine. Now let's do the front driver's door. Now out of the four, this should be the hardest just because this is an actual lock that you insert a key into. So it should be the hardest one, but it's also not very difficult. You can easily do this at home, and you literally need like the simplest tools ever. So let me just same plastic cover, just pry it off with your fingernail or something like that. I guess try not to scratch the paint if you care about it, so make sure to keep that for later. And start unscrewing. It will basically be the same thing here as well. Then when you're done with that, it should come out with relative ease, and this should be a lot longer. Ew. Oh god, look at that. This is basically what this end bit, so this end is what actuates the actual lock, which is in there. Don't know if you can see it. Basically, when you put the key in here and you turn it to the right, this whole thing turns to the right as well, and thus making that thing on the inside actually turn as well. And then when you unlock it, do it like that. Now here, it's a bit more tricky because there's actually something in there. So the actual hole that you need to drill is actually more to the right of the whole mechanism. I'll see if I can. Let me just put up a picture of it here. It's quite hard to take a picture of it, but basically it's to the right of the actual thing where this kind of blade goes in. So yeah, so let me just quickly put a bit of this good stuff in there, and then when you're done with that, clean this with honestly anything. But this looks disgusting, so let me just quickly wipe it. So it didn't make it look much better, but it's actually clean now. So now it's just basically open and close it, slam it a few times, lock, and then exercise the lock from the inside, from the outside, and then should unlock. And let me just put this together. Now make sure when you put this in, you put it in relatively straight into the hole, because it has to go into like quite a precise place in the actual lock. And for some reason it doesn't want to go in. There, a bit of wiggle later goes in. So now let's tighten the screw on the inside, which is just in here. And basically when you have that screwed in, put this back, and it should be all good. So let's see. So lock. All of them should be locked. And now let's unlock them. So that opens. This opens. This is a different type of thing, but yeah, this opens. This opens, which was the one that was stuck, and then this should open just as well. So that's how you kind of try to fix your locks if it doesn't work on your car. At times it will be just stuck, or it will just kind of seize up, and the actual lock itself won't be able to push it in or push it out enough for it to lock or unlock. Usually it will lock, but it probably won't unlock, only from the inside, which is the better part. But it's not dead if it actually locks the actual door. If it doesn't unlock, that means it's probably seized up, and you can probably do this on your own car. It's probably good if it will differ from car to car. This is for this car, and it will probably be the same for Volkswagen Group's cars around 2007, maybe a bit older and a tiny bit newer. But yeah, it will differ from car to car. So thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, click the like button. If you didn't, dislike it and tell me why, and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Models popping bottles.